What if I told you that the scariest thing in Dead by Daylight isn't the entity or the killers, but the cosmetics? Fashion in Dead by Daylight has always been interesting, to say the least. The store ranges from things that I'd never buy to things that are amazing but lack potential. So why is this? I think a lot of Dead by Daylight's cosmetics are really ugly. I'm a big fan of the game, don't get me wrong, and I've put a decent amount of money into it. I'd like to put more of my money into it, but the state of the cosmetics isn't really enough to tempt me. At least, not right now. I wanted to talk about a few things that I dislike about them, and give potential advice that could make cosmetics more appealing and enticing for future reference. My goal isn't to trash the developer or the art team. I think that they are a very talented group of people, but there's something holding them back. Dead by Daylight is an asymmetrical multiplayer survival horror by the Canadian studio Behaviour Interactive. Released in 2016 for PC, and as of 2023, it has become available on all gaming platforms. The gameplay loop is really simple and fun. 4 players as survivors try to survive against one single killer by fixing generators to power the exit gates. These are called trials. You earn points based on how much you do during these trials, so even if you end up not escaping, you can still earn a lot of points and rank up from trying your best. As killer, you hunt these survivors before they can escape, but you get points on how well you may torture during these trials. This coincides with the lore of Dead by Daylight, as the entity, an eldritch creature and orchestrator of these trials, feeds on the torment of the survivors and their deaths. Dead by Daylight has a store where you can buy new skins and outfits for your favorite killer or survivor so that you can play in style. This is where my issue lies. A lot of Dead by Daylight's cosmetics aren't appealing to me, and I decided to make this video because I don't think that I'm alone on this. The formula of art direction may have worked in the past, but with games such as Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, and Infinity Nikki competing for people's wallets, I believe that Behaviour should try to evolve their content. The DBD community is still growing after all this time, and these players will definitely put their money into good skins if they genuinely like the game. You gotta give us something. I am primarily a survival player. Killer skins aren't really my forte. I don't buy skins for killers, I don't play killers, so I'm just gonna focus on the survivor skins for now. First, I want to talk about Claudette. As a black woman, I love feeling represented when it comes to customization, and I naturally gravitate towards, black woman characters. So, as a default survivor, I think that Claudette should have better looking skins and a more personalized style. You can give each survivor a certain vibe that represents their lore and personality and expand off of that. Most of her skins where she's wearing regular clothes are very unappealing, and the combinations don't make it any better. Can you imagine anyone who looks like this in real life? Think of how black women dress, even nerdy black women. She doesn't need to be a baddie with 30-inch bust down. There are cute and fashionable nerdy black girls, like me. Well, yes, like me. The best things that I can say about these skins is that they don't sexualize her, and I can say that about every other cosmetic as well. They don't objectify their characters and make them gooner bait. To keep things brief, I will focus on the Belle of the Ball skin. It is 1080 Auric cells, and I think that the skin should be better for how much that you're paying for it. I know it's just $10, but $10 for a cosmetic that doesn't look that good is a lot in this economy. Plain and simple, it should just be better. I was going to say brighter because I don't really like the dullness, but sometimes if skins are too flashy, then it can make it hard to play with in competitive play. I am not really that much of a fan of her hair. I appreciate their effort for making black hairstyles with 4C hair, but it doesn't match the vibe of the dress for me. I think that they should have changed the shape somehow. I don't really like how her hair looks. I assume it's just the engine or the model, more accurately, and I think they should change the shape of it. It's just the game, so it doesn't need to be that realistic. Another thing that I'm not a fan of is that all the cosmetics are dirty. I understand that it's a dark and grimy game with dark lore, so them being covered in dirt makes sense. But I think that some special skins should be cleaner. They should preserve the look from the moment that they were taken by the entity. The same opinion leads into my talk about the Junji Ito collection. When I first heard about the Junji Ito collection coming to Dead by Daylight, I was pretty excited. I'm a horror girly and I really like his manga. Tomie is my favorite. I was planning to spend like almost $30 thinking about all the possibilities of what skins were coming to that collaboration. But of course, the Survivor skins were lackluster. I've yet to encounter anyone wearing the skins in-game to see them in action. The killer skins are phenomenal though. I really like them. They, live up to their idea. And I unfortunately don't play killer though, so I won't be buying those ones. If I have more money to spare, I would buy them just to have them because I'm a pretty big fan of Tomie, but I don't play the spirit at all. But anyways, I expected things to be completely different. I love Tomie being a killer for the spirit, but I would have also liked for her normal high school self to be a skin for the survivor, because she's described to be this, beautiful girl. Yui got a skin as Tsukiko, who is the female protagonist of the Tomie stories, but I don't think that she's the star of the Tomie series. She isn't who I think about when I think of Tomie. So I think that Yui should have gotten a skin as normal schoolgirl Tomie before all of the, undeadness taken at the moment that she was killed. Maybe she has minimal injuries and she's like, oh, why am I here? You know how survivors are when they talk. Next is Terumi. I don't necessarily think that she is a problem, like the character choice, but I think that the outfit should be pristine in appearance and fit Yujin Lee the same way it fits Terumi in the source material. And lastly, the ballerina outfit. I like what they were trying to do, but I think that they should have saved this ballerina idea for a maybe battle pass or an event or something, not the Junji Ito collab. I think that the skin for Kate should have been Kyrie from Uzumaki. Of course, this is just my opinion. I haven't read House of Marionettes, but I have heard of it. In my opinion, Kyrie would have been more appealing, and I think that they should have maybe had a recolor for the survivor skins where they look like they're taken from straight from the manga, instead of maybe whatever they were going for here. I get that maybe it's not the best option. Adapting anime characters into mediums that imitate real life can be hit or miss. Next, I will touch lightly upon the Resident Evil collections. I don't really have many negative things to say about the Resident Evil skins, since most of them are pretty good in my opinion. I think that Dead by Daylight and Resident Evil intertwine really nice, so even though I may not personally find the cosmetics appealing, they do look really good and they do make sense. I think including more characters through skins is really clever. It's a clever way of making money and appealing to a wider audience, because maybe you might not want to play as Jill or Rebecca or Leon, but you would want to play as Shiva or Chris Redfield or something. But it makes me wonder, who comes up with these decisions of what types of skins are approved? Ada Wong is a fan favorite of both Dead by Daylight and Resident Evil, and I like her skins, but they could be better. I think that she should look as great as she does in Resident Evil, and for fuck's sake, just let her wear heels, actual heels, with inches on them. Her latest latest skin that came out I kind of like. I bought it, but it looks weird to me. Like, I think that they should do this with all the other female survivors as well. Like, if you're gonna give them outfits with heels, like, put some inches on those heels. I'm not a game developer, but maybe they could like modify the models and configure it so that they don't have to change the hitboxes to compensate for their new height. And yes, I will address the elephant in the room. Rebecca Chambers should have gotten a skin as Ashley, okay? I heard rumors of this, that it could be possible. I got excited, I was ready to spend the money when the new collab came out, and I was disappointed. When I didn't know that it was cleared up that Ashley wasn't coming until I opened the game. I tried to stay up on leaks and stuff, so when it was like cleared up, I didn't hear about it. Anyways, again, I wrote a script and I keep going off script, but yeah, we're gonna get back to it. I'm almost done. I'm not sure what it is where behavior has these like opportunities to do like great things, but they don't really take it. So this video is already getting kind of long. I wanted it to be only a few minutes, but it ended up being like 10. I'm looking at my shit in Audacity. These are just my opinions. I don't expect to change your mind with them, nor do I expect to change anyone at Behavior Interactive's mind. I really enjoy the game. I'm putting money into it. I'm gonna keep playing it. I hope that in the future things can change for the better. Although this kind of makes me nervous for the Tokyo Ghoul and Five Nights at Freddy's collaboration. But anyway, this is my message to Behavior. If any Behavior game devs find this video, okay? Do not be afraid to go all out with outfits. Don't be afraid to even change survivors' faces or add some crazy rendering shit, okay? Like, think about Nicolas Cage. He's a great example of like what a survivor design should be. He is like the imitation of someone in real life, and you're able to like make this face that looks like pretty much identical to him. Like, I know it's him. Like, you can tell it's him when you look at him, and like it's great. I don't use Nicolas Cage, but like I see why people would use him if you're a fan of him. But yeah. You made it to the end.